This week we begin the book of Vayikra, Leviticus, and it begins Vayikra El Moshe. God called to Moshe. And if you notice, the word Vayikra has a small aleph. In Torah, there are the average letters, and then from time to time you will find a larger letter and sometimes a smaller letter. The entire Torah is written with that medium-sized letters. But at the time when Torah wants to stress something, it gives a bigger letter, and vice versa with a smaller letter. Vayikra has a small aleph. Now rabbis explain the reason for that because Moshe was very humble. And Vayikra is a calling of endearment, where Moshe was very dear to God, and God called Vayikra El Moshe. Moshe being humble, when he wrote the Torah, he wrote it with a small aleph. My friends, we all have that level of Moshe in us. We have to remember, we are great because we have a spark of Moshe in us. At the same time, that comes along with the humility and humbleness that Moshe possessed. And most importantly, Vayikra El Moshe, God calls every single one of us. And just as God called Moshe to come into the tent because God wanted to teach him Torah, so to every single one of us, God calls to us and says, come, let's learn together. Let's study the Torah together. So wherever you are, whether you have a teacher, you don't have a teacher, whether you have access to the internet or not, at all times, you have access to God. God is calling every one of us, and He's awaiting us to sit down and study some Torah together with Him. So why push it off? Why postpone? Let's act now. Every single one of us should sit down and realize that God is sitting opposite us at the table. And let's study together with God, and let's be invigorated from God's teaching, and let us take those teachings and implement it into our day-to-day life to become a better person, to make the world a better world, and in that merit we will see the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day. Shabbat Shalom.